Your steel. Steve. Sanmai. Oh, W1. All right. W1. Sanmai. Gentlemen, you are allowed to share your equipment if you so choose to. So this is a friendly, fun competition to show everybody how fun bladesmithing and blacksmithing can be. Start your forges. I'll give you 5 minutes before we start the timer to get things sort of warmed up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me there? Okay, what we're looking at here is we're watching some of the competitors. That's Steve Deo. He's working his 5160, trying to harvest out his steel. He's still working that. You see he's working down, trying to cut his leaf springs apart so he can have the steel to throw on the forge. We already have a lot of steel in the forge. A lot of these guys have some very difficult pieces of metal to work with. 5160 should be easiest. The trick here is he's got to harvest it. You can see him trying to cut it. There we go. 5160 should be easy. Just using the angle, use a regular angle grinder, you can get a hardware shot with a cutoff wheel. You see him trying to get using that to cut back the steel he needs. So one of the challenges here, he has to have 2 inches of the widest point on the blade. There we go. And that is, I think, an inch 3/8 wide. Just using the angle, use a regular angle grinder, you can get a hardware shot with a cutoff wheel. Just using that to cut back the steel he needs. One of the challenges here, he has to have 2 inches of the widest point on the blade. That is, I think, an inch 3/8 wide. Some people believe that the leaf spring is going to be part of this challenge. That metal is already still shape, so it's trying not to touch it. Fortunately, it has a preset with a curve on that leaf spring. Some people believe that the leaf spring, how many previous iterations it has, bounces up and down. It's already built all throughout that. Fortunately, it has a preset with a curve on that leaf spring. Also, you don't know how many iterations it had bouncing up and down all throughout that precision game. That's one of the bad things about it. These actually comes out. And a lot of people use it as going back with steel to use. If you know someone in the fishing game, you get it. You see these actually, I think he's working on a guard down there. Still working inside trying to catch a different. I think he's working on a guard down there. He's working on. Inside trying to catch a different. He's trying to multitask with his iron that goes up to this oven. You can see off the left-hand side, that's Josh Meredith trying to upset the steel. Upsetting the steel will increase the thickness. He's trying to upset it so off the left-hand part. That's Josh Meredith trying to upset that steel. The end of his blade. Upsetting the steel will increase the thickness right by his hand. He's trying to also Josh said so he can get a wider part where he can have the belly of his blade come out. That will be the end of the blade to go right by his hand. Also, Josh chose the W2 round. That's going to be a big part of the challenge. Looking down at Steve going in and out of his forge, trying to get stuff heated up. Right there, Steve going in and out of his forge, trying to get stuff heated up. He's working on a piece of sand line. That's a piece of 1075, it's a quarter-inch thick, with 2 8-inch pieces of mild. He's working on a piece of sand line. That's a piece of 1075, it's a quarter-inch thick, with 2 8-inch pieces of mild steel. still working on his piece. He's gonna make a guard out of that. It's a mild steel guard. It's gonna be interesting. He's still working on his piece. He's gonna make a guard out of that. It's a mild steel guard. It's gonna be interesting. Handle it. He's gonna play that whole brass. Handle it. Most people use brass. Strikes that piece of metal down, and actually are still white at the top. Strikes that piece of metal down, now he's got to be all white at the top. That's what he wants to do. Now he's got to finish all the things. See how fast it's bouncing? See how fast it's bouncing? Okay, you see Kevin's working on that big hump at W1. He's doing the same thing. He's doing a bit of upsetting out there, trying to whiten it at one end. The idea is you've got enough steel, but they have in their heads the plan for the buoy. Well, the buoy's a normal shape. It's America's blade, right? They have plans where they're going to have the belly, the point, things like that. Right now, both our guys working the W2 are actually pushing steel to whiten it. I don't believe those. Kevin up there has a press. That's one of our pieces of Sam coming out of the oven. What he has to do here is he's going to have to actually forge weld that material together. If he doesn't, when he goes to heat treat, he's going to have those three pieces of steel come apart on him. One of the key pieces here is to keep your billet straight. Don't let it get too far out of whack or you're going to be chasing a bend the entire time you're trying to make the leg. That's why these guys upset and then they chase the bends back out. So you keep it straight now, you take it out a little curve. Later on in forging, you're going to be taking out a big curve. There's Steve Daly's trying to get that forge roller down. One of the things, even though it's 80 degrees out here today, those anvils are what we consider cold. They'll suck the heat right out of a billet, nothing flat. You'll see them lay that billet onto the anvil and just heat goes right out. That's that mild steel piece he's working for a guard. You'll see these guys taking wire brushes and brushing their anvils. They're knocking forge scale off of it. Forge scale is where you actually burn the carbon out of the steel. And we jokingly call it black diamonds. Since it's pure carbon almost, it's harder than the steel that it came off of. And what will happen is you'll actually drive that scale into the metal. Then you'll never get it out. What was that, John? Yeah, Josh is sitting here telling me he's drawing it out. He's upsetting it, so I have a great big thick blade, wide blade. I just think he's trying to be an Iron Man. I'm not going to take that straight line. Okay. What people don't realize, these tongs are awful hot. That's why Todd had to punch his tongs back. Steve's trying to work that billet down. He's trying to get it, make sure it's all. That will tell him he has an occlusion in there. That means he doesn't have it nicely lowered. So right now, all five of these smiths are working on their billets, trying just to get the steel ready to where they can start forging out the knives. This will probably take a good 30 to 40 minutes. And yes, this is a very tiring portion of it. Steve right there is trying to drift out his hole for his guard. He's trying to multitask as much as possible. So when he gets his piece of steel ready, he can just bend that around. I don't know if you've actually seen it, but Steve actually has a mock-up of the blade he's going to make in cardboard off to one side. So his idea here is he's going to make that and bend it all the way back around and be a D guard. Very, very interesting idea. Beautiful piece. There's Kevin working his W2. One thing you'll actually hear us all be using, we're throwing around terms like W2, 1075, 5160. What those are actually formulations of the metal. That means there's certain criteria for the metal. When you get a piece, you can actually get what they call a spec sheet, and it will tell you what is in that metal from the carbon content, molybdenum, chromium, things like that. W2 is, W stands for water quenchable. I don't think any of these gentlemen will water quench, but W2 likes a very fast quench. I believe everyone out here has sparks or something like that. And man, you don't want to see Santa Claus talking. As Steve Deo's still working on that T-guard is, he's actually drifting in the hole. Very old style blacksmith, lots of skill. That's okay. It looks like Todd's actually now working his tip in, or nope, he's gonna. Looks like he's going backwards and putting his tang in first. What a lot of people don't realize, as you start moving the steel, it thickens, and then you have to take it back down. So it's
You're going to have to take it back down. Yes, you do.
Back and forth. That's Steve working that piece of Sam Ice got. Okay, it is. Robson talk.
You're going to want to. Okay. So you're going to want to choose a fit blade, right? So you can't get it too thin across the entire thing. So make sure you're getting about a 4.5 inch handle, and then the rest of that is blade. You're talking about just the blade, right? So when you're working this thing, then what is your thought to make sure you can get that much length out of this?
Well, I don't know his name. He's over there in that tent, but he has a folder die that I can use to hammer down.
Okay, and we got a bowie knife, right? All right, so start hammering that tip. I'm gonna see if I can find some chalk. We're gonna draw a little something on your handle that you can use as a base design on there. Because you can do a bowie knife, because it's actually just a basic drop down flip point like this, where you can elongate that flip, make it a long way, and you can stretch it that direction and get that same thing out of it. So I'll show you some different designs on that, and I'll leave them here for you. And I love bowie knives, they're amazing, but you gotta make sure you get that length out of it. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, no, keep rocking it, all right?
set down.
Going, it wasn't going. That's good. Fine. I got the guy. I got what? And no, at the same time. Talking about what happened. Yeah, but that's the diamond on it. But that's where I was going, because if you go and have a book like this, you can allow it to go longer. Got it.
Almost like a sack. You know, they always give you
Those are the two. Right? Because that gives you a little bit more.
not just out the book that you got that home.
So, that would be wonderful.
Because that way you know,
I would appreciate that.
I've always said Okay, for those who are watching out there, we just found out something. One of the competitors here, Tyler, who's actually using the 5160 spring steel, has never made a knife before. This is a first time for him. That also lets you know that you do not need a huge amount of talent to come out here and do, or actually not talent, but experience to come out and do this. You just got to have a little chutzpah, and boy, I think he's got some chutzpah. The rest of these guys have been working these competitions. Steve, I think, has done about 6 or 7. Josh over here to my right, the guy that's working the W2, has actually won many of our competitions. So this is kind of an interesting thing. I'm wishing him the best. Yeah, you can see that W2 that Josh is working back in the oven. There's Tyler. He's now working his tip in. He's working on his point. As you see, as he hits it, it pushes it down, and he's looking at the dreaded fish lips. Fish lips are something you don't want to get specifically with that spring steel, because they will not forge well back on themselves. There you go. There you go. See, he's getting that all set back in. Doing a real good job. It looks like Tyler's working down on getting his point set with that sand mine. You don't want to have Santa Claus, or else I will not be coming on the 24th. There's Ron Hardman, one of our judges, Fortune Fire winner. In fact, all of our judges are Fortune Fire winners. Ron actually is the owner of Kilroy's Workshop, both in Lakewood and Colorado Springs. There's Kevin using that press. Man, that takes all the arm work out of it. I'm going to come over here and talk to the chap. That square edge and rotating. Okay. That's what it looks like. Okay. So it is, you've got this all coming back. Whichever edge off, shove it straight down. Okay. And when you start to have run that edge back. Okay. Doing good. It looks like you've got a lot more heat in there.
I think so. I turned that second burner.
What's that? Why'd you run it upset? Okay, 1 inch round times it, multiply it by putting backwards C on the calculator. 7, 8 by 4, right? That's hard to get 2 inches out of it. Still have enough. But stay true, still good to keep your apple in there. And swing in for the fence. And then go. Great. I wasn't sure 1 inch, so how's your press work? What's that? How's your press work? Both times? It's about 25. Make yourself? What's that? Make yourself? I bought it. On Sword Maker. Upgrade, so. Soon to be retired. There you go. You look at that press. I was just asking Kevin. Kevin had got that press from a gentleman that was a sword maker, and he upgraded. So it's so funny. On one side of our competitors, you have new school, and on one side you have old school. We have Kevin over there using the press called the Beast, and he's pushing that W2 down pretty hard. And over here on my right, we have Josh doing a old school. And at the far end, we have Steve Deo, who's actually drifting his guard. He's going to make a D guard, and he's actually drifted in the hole by cutting it with the drill press. Very old school, very high technique. Still upset, Josh? Start flattening. My big point. Steve's still working on that guard. He should have that guard done just about the time he's ready to pull out his tang. Interesting to see the different styles of all these people. That's Josh sitting there. He's Iron Man out that W2. Very old school way to do it. He's also going to have to worry about keeping his in the middle. Here he doesn't. He doesn't have to worry. Kevin doesn't have to worry about it because he can just press it, turn it, press it, turn it, and he'll keep that spine right down the center where he wants it. I'm wondering if he's gonna just pull a tang out of that, or actually do something with the knot. Constantly measuring. You have to constantly measure to make sure everything's coming out right. You can see the dimples that Todd's putting in it to actually draw that steel out. He will go back with the flat side of that hammer and plenish it back out flat. So funny. Yeah. Old. That's a great way.
Up until about 7 years ago, I was all old school. Now, when I hit 45, I'm new school.
To tell you the truth, I've done one piece of layered Damascus by hand. I call up a buddy who's got a press. Hey, dude, what can I bring you to use your press? Mine was shoulder. I've still got a piece of metal in it. So you're gonna put a press in your shop at and I don't know if you guys can hear the conversations going on, but I'm talking to Ron Hardman, who runs Kilroy's workshop, and I'm commending him wholeheartedly on the fact that he teaches young people to forge. I had my son in the forge at an age about 9. You know, the fact that he's teaching people to do this. He teaches them welding. What else? Foundry work, this, that, and the other thing. This is, the fact that we're actually teaching people that they don't need a degree to succeed. I think it's a wonderful idea, and I can't commend him enough. Yeah. I teach beginning intro blacksmith class. 4 hours. I give them, they get a safety lecture. I demo it, and then they do it. And they walk away with a J-hook or whatever they're using. And I always tell people, it's so funny. I was in an event for the SCA, and a woman comes up and says, "My boyfriend wants to do this." I said, "I will more than happy teach you." But I said, "I will not be responsible if he geeks out and he walks." And she goes, "He's too cool for that." A couple hours later, she comes by and she gives me a one-handed gesture we all know. And what did I do? He goes, "He's up there stopping people on the street." I said, "Look," I said, "you should have seen the first time I got canister Damascus. I was stopping people on the street. I made steel." And people don't, they don't realize until they actually come out and they watch something like this, or they come out and they say, "Hey, I've seen it on television. I've seen a very famous father-daughter." Again, suck them up. I have made 3 blacksmith knives in my life, 1 in a competition, the other 2 I finished. I put it on the table. He said, "What do you want?" I said, $15. I even made up the steel cost. The guy goes, "Why?" I said, "I just want to wait for me." But you're right. If I'd never make another one.
Yeah. I've made probably over 1,000.
I asked you at one point how many buildings you could build, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what I make,
Yeah, you know, you can, as I said, I make them, I throw them on the table, and people come by and they're, ooh, ah, it's a handmade knife. And I said, you know, it's never going to really work real well because it's got no handle on it. I wrap them in paracord. So, oh, were you trying to get a hold of them? You haven't figured that's my dog. Yeah, I think he's getting it pretty good. He's making a, that's going to be his D-ring. That's going to be his guard. And there we are, pressing back again. The problem with the press is, see how he's just barely touching, he's nibbling it, as we say. And you see he's going across at an angle. He's using that to draw out. He's got Josh up there now trying to speed him up. That's something that's real good about this competition. While the competitors, we're all brothers. I mean, we're brothers and sisters. That's what we're here for. We're here to try and do everything. So yeah, we have a competitor up there. He's given up his time on his machine to help out a friend. I was just commenting over the air that you were helping Josh, you were letting Josh use a press. I said, you know, while he is a competitor, we're all brothers at the end of the day, you know, trying to make sure everything gets everything done. And I want to commend you on helping. Oh, yeah.
I packed the trailer I want.
It's so funny. When I did my first one, I fired up my forge. I looked at it. I've been for about 8 months, and I thought, if you can talk to him real quick, we'll get a shot of his head, okay? Okay. Well, he's back working. We'll go around. I'm always in trouble with Dwayne. You got a lot of good control with the press. You're a lot better than I am. I'll let you finish up. So are you actually thinking about coming back and running a bolster out of that?
What's that?
Are you looking at running a bolster on that, or are you just going to put a...
My ears
Are you going to put a bolster on it with that big thick? You got enough blade there, right? You bring it back, let it come down and leave that round as a bolster before your tang. Is that your idea?
If you were invited to the sandbar, I'd want you to carry a knife you'd be proud of. Yeah, I think it's got to have a guard.
Well,
I mean, might not get done, but
if you run it down right before your tang, if you leave a bit of that round bar in it, you can use it as a bolster, you know, and then run your handle up. Yeah,
They're pretty nice, huh?
yeah. As I said, I'm glad that Josh is you're helping Josh out.
I've been working on the tank right now.
Yeah, Tyler's sitting here to try to get all the fish lips out. Now you know what side you're beveling, which side you're.
This side's the blade, that side's the bevel. Or this
That's
side's the bevel.
And that side's the
This
spine.
Yeah.
Now take that spine and drag that tip point back.
That back.
Yeah,
So just back this way.
lower your hand just a bit. Now hit it and drive it. There you go.
Going back towards us.
And so what you want to do is you want to bring that down. You're also going to want to thin that back into a additional taper. Because right now it's going to be tip heavy as
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put it back in.
Okay,
And then
oh, yeah.
And then start driving it this
Yeah,
way.
I would stop hitting it because it's cold.
Okay.
And 5160 will crack like a
All right.
anything. 5160 hates being cold. You got that forge nice and hot now.
Yeah. I can see it's moving a lot better now.
Well, he's got the hardest metal to work with too, though. So you can see he can't even get the shape yet.
It's,
So
it's hard and it's a lot of metal. Woo! So how's that sandbite treating you?
it's great. Seems like everything's worked well. So
I saw you weld it, and I said, well, okay.
I
So,
took my time on the whole surface first. Just to,
I haven't seen any marks or anything like that, so it looks good.
so
You can generally hear it.
yeah. I'm seeing a little bit of fraying maybe on the edges, but I think it's still the old welds.
The welds, you're going to break those off and you can
So,
grind those away.
It'll be
anyways.
fine. But it's moving pretty good. And so I think
It's 1075. It shouldn't move. It shouldn't be that hard to move.
yeah, it's not that bad. So I think I lucked out.
Good. Okay. It's so funny. I was telling everybody we have old school versus new school. Everyone over here is trying to, well, Josh cheating went over there and used the press. I think but he's sitting here just drifting his guard. He's very old school work. So. Walk around. He's saving your butt. I mean,
I don't think I could have did it.
oh, I tell you. Well, that's what this whole thing's about, right? It's always been that way. We've always we've always had tools back and forth.
And I got it down to about 3/4 of an inch. And it's not that I couldn't move it. My shoulder. I don't have that muscle that I had 5 years ago. He does.
When you're interviewing, you need to put this.
They're saying
We could do behind the scenes and we could interview you too. We get the whole circle.
no, I'm still living down the last. It was because it was your blade they were testing. Okay. Back and forth. See, these guys are there. And he's just sitting there just nibbling on that steel. And now Josh has got it down quite a bit. Looking good.
Do I want to start taking the belt?
No. You want to put it this okay. You want to take that and move it this way.
Okay.
So when you look at the point should also do this, just looking straight down at it. What that's going to do is that's going to move the weight back towards your hand, so you have a balanced blade. It won't be tip heavy, it won't be tang heavy.
So now that I've moved back this spine, should I keep moving that back or?
You got a lot of meat there. I would measure it.
I want a couple inches here, right? Like 3.
Yeah. What I do is I measure on your anvil and try and figure out what 14 inches is. Take it to about 14 and a half for grind at each end. Because I think you're not quite there yet. But as you put your distal taper in it, you're going to shove that down that way. Okay? You should be easily have 15 inches of steel out of that.
So what's a distal taper?
What?
What's a distal taper?
Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Let me- Yeah. From tip to tail, it must be. From tip to tail, it must be 14. That's 1/4 inches long, and its widest point, it must be 2 inches wide. You have plenty of steel in there, but you got to start making that move right along. Josh is still flattening out his piece of steel. I don't know, how awesome this is, seeing him and Kevin split forge up there. There's not much room on that trailer, and the two guys are working side by side. I don't think those guys met before today, and here they are working side by side, just, like they've been working all their life together. So that just shows you what kind of community this is. This is why we do this. These folks, if you move over, you can see Tyler and Tim working together, talking, working out issues. As long as these guys don't touch each other's metal, they can help out every way they can, and they will. This has been a long time. We have lots of stories. There'll be stories coming out of this one. Todd looks like he's got a bit of a fire going. Do you have a D-guard jig? Do you have a D-guard jig? You're gonna hand, again, old school.
Come back in.
Do you have a D-guard jig? Do you have a D-guard jig? You're gonna hand, again, old school.
Come back in.
You got your thickness down?
I got my width.
Well, I mean, how about your thickness? You got a, there's a lot of freaking steel. You got your thickness down? I pull that second or fourth.
I got my width.
W2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how about your thickness? You got a, there's a lot of freaking steel. Yeah. I pull that second or fourth. That's W2.
Yeah, I'm not for that. Yeah. Get something to do right too.
We call this like pointless. Rumple.
Something.
We call this like pointless. Rumple.
Something.
The running joke that I was having with Steve down there is he doesn't have a jig for his D-guard. A jig is something we'd use to wrap that D-guard around. The running joke that I was having with Steve down there is he doesn't have a jig for his D-guard. He's an old jig is something we use to wrap that D-guard around. Very, very, so it came out to the right exact size. You get what you want, but he's an old school by eyeballing it, which is very, very, you get what you want, but you cannot replicate it. I believe Steve's going to have his guard done before his blade. I believe Steve's going to have his guard done. Josh is over here old, just Iron Man in it. And then Josh is over here old. He's headed back over to talk to Kevin. Hopefully it begs some time. He's headed back over to talk to Kevin. Hopefully it begs some time. Todd's down there just Iron Manning along with the sand mine. Todd's down there just Iron Manning along with the sand mine. He's actually drawing his tang out. That's backwards. He's actually drawing his tang out. Well, actually, it's backwards. Put their point in. Well, actually, bevel. Put their point in. Completely done. So the blades actually get their bevel completely done. So then go work on their tang. Then go work on it backwards and working his tang. Todd's doing it backwards and working his tang. They needs to go work on it. We'll see how it works. I mean, I've seen it done. We'll see how it works. I mean, I've seen it done. I don't know. Maybe that's not the way I do it. I don't know. It's not the way I do it. Everyone's kung fu's better than everyone else. Everyone's kung fu's better than everyone else's. Trey on the camera there. Trey on the camera there. Tyler's working that piece of 5160. You got to keep him energized. He's never made a blade before, but he's moving right along. It's looking really good. You can actually see he's got a good distal taper going. A distal taper is where you taper down the point end of the blade. That will shift the center of gravity back toward the ricotta. It'll keep the tip from being, the blade from being tip heavy. If you have the blade tip heavy, it puts a lot of strain on the forward part of your shoulder. If you have it tang heavy, it puts a lot of strain on the back side of your shoulder. So a balanced blade is what you're going for. So Tyler's actually doing a real good job there. Josh sitting down his blade. Just so you know, that's 25 tons in that press. So it's easy to squeeze that blade thinner than you want. And you have to come back and try and remake it. The only piece of monosteel we have out here today, or actually, we have two pieces of monosteel. We have the spring steel, which Tyler's working, and we have the W2. The issue here is what we're trying to maintain is also we have the San Mai, which is a forged welded piece of two steels. On the outside you have the mild steel, and on the inside you have the high carbon. What Todd is going to have to do is when he works that steel, he's going to have to ensure that he has high carbon on the edge, only high carbon. Thing here is that you're going to want to make sure you got that curve off to one side. You want to bring it back in the center, right?
So this, I want to bring it back to the center.
No, roll me 90 degrees. You see how your edge rotates off to that side? You want to bring that back over. So the next time, lay down flat. Make sure it's flat. Right? Put it back forward. You're going to want to keep that as flat and straight as possible throughout the time. If it's wonky, you try to get it at the end, you might be able to lost cause. So right now, you have that edge going across the side, right? You want to brush this off, and where's your brush? There you go. Put your tang in down here. Point over here, you'll see that curve. So tap it back a little bit toward the spine with the flat. When I say tap it, breathe on it, okay? You don't want any dips or twigs. Just tap it flat and try and bring that back into the line, okay? Feel great, man. You've got a pretty good distance tape on there. What you want to do is bring it down to about a quarter of the quarter. And what that does, that'll set you up for your bubble. You bring your bubble all the way up to that quarter end. Then you've got a nice, smooth bubble. Okay? Also about you get that tape and want to look at your length, figure out where you want to cut your blade back out. I'll come back and talk to you how to do that. No, as I said, we are all a community here. We're all here to help. And I don't know why you have a cast iron frying pan. I hope you're just not going to get compensated.
I was going to do my question. I was going to do an edge question. But I didn't have anything else.
You have no oil or some kind of oil? Because this is going to want a slow quench. Not a fast quench like cars. You want a nice slow quench. I don't know if that's going to be enough. You might want to try and find some else that's got a push in it. You got a long vice that one like you got. When you do your quench, you might want to try and get a hold of some longer vice and see if got a piece of angle iron. Squeeze. You still working on that tank? Good. Got a piece of 2x4. You're starting to get it. Black it. Get a hotter engine to help use it as an anvil. Get it hot. For what you can do. And he's got a lot of real estate. Okay, so I'm already up with it. Jake, for when you know vice. Yeah, because he's only got that small vice it is. Straighten that blade and starts to wobble on him. Right. Okay. Good. That looks real nice. Thank you. A little bit. I pull you back. I pull you back at least another half an inch for grind. Josh is going to make too much noise. Well, yeah, you have to take an hour break. We don't do that now. Good. And we're back. I needed both hands. Todd trying to put that tip into that sand mine. Remember, he's got a core of a 1/4 inch 1075 high carbon steel. All the tins are known to be very tough, and they don't like to flow real well. So he's really trying to work that in. But he's darn near done. I just have never seen anyone forge a knife what I would consider backwards, but he's done a great job. He's got his handle all marked up down there, so I think he's checking parameters. You don't want to lose out for blowing a parameter. Josh is now back to going old school. He's trying to spread that blade out. See how he's actually like pushing the steel away from me? That's trying to stretch that blade out, widen it. A lot of people say that doesn't do anything. I personally think it does. As I said, everyone has their own kung fu. See down here, wailing on that blade. You think it owed money or something? Josh, you okay? Okay. You walk around like you lost your head. If I ever got back to time I had searching for one glove, I'd be like 20 years old again. I know you, man. That's a great shot of Kevin backlit. The blacksmith's friend, forge scale. No. Rob, guy offered it up. The gentleman knows this, 110 or 220?
What's that?
110 or 220 for your grinder. You grind at 220 or 110?
Full press?
Full.
Oh, that's 110.
You got a lot of meat, dude.
There's probably a little oil on the shoulder. So P1.
We'll run this over on the table. That's wet. That's looking good. That is really looking good.
That's the sign, right? Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to what's the tip tail now. Now you're going to want to figure out where you're going to want your blade in. So I would get this hot from about there down. And what you want to do is run that at an angle over the blade. You want to tap your spawn. That'll give you a little difference. You never touch that beyond that pivot again.
Like this?
Yes. Yeah. You jokingly call it soil and not soil. And then what you'll do is you'll bevel that out. Okay? And you're going to want to keep this, if you can, this curve right here. Right? Yeah. So what happens is you go through that rope, that will catch.
But I don't want it to curve like that.
You gotta want to curve back. Okay? Whoa! Where's that coming out? That's looking down into somebody's forge. Okay, what you're looking at here looks like someone's forge. Whoever's got that. What you're looking at is various different types of temperature on the steel. That edge will be about 1,600 degrees. That yellow, that's what we call critical temperature. That's the temperature you're going to want to look at for quench. And then you notice it coming back. I don't know what section that is, but that's looking down that is very, that is what you want to see when you're looking and forging. All those different colors, and that yellow is the critical temperature you want. Somebody's actually working, that's Josh working to try and get his 2 inches. But notice he's got it, there you go. See, he's got that big wide, almost belly willow tail on it. He'll actually pull that back with as he bevels it. I don't see Dale doing down there. That's Todd, he's working that San. See, he's working that bevel. See, he's working that bevel down. He's now trying to bevel that out. He's trying to reach the 2 inches. It looks like he's got his 2 inches up by his hilt. See him scraping the forge scale off, trying to see what he's got. He's got to be real careful so he doesn't overheat it and work all that mild off of it. Now, you still got to grind that back so you'll have hardenable steel on his edge. Steve's working his handle material. He's trying to drill a hole down the middle of it. Once he gets that middle of that drilled out, he'll pull a rat tail on his actual blade. And then he's going to stick that into that wood red hot. And that will give him what we call a burn through. Looking for the camera. See, he's got that hole all the way through now. Now what he'll do is he'll take his red hot steel and he'll burn through it. He's trying to work to get his width out there. That's what he's doing. He still has a point to put on. He's now measuring it as 2 inches. Right here. Now what he's doing here is he's actually winding back his edge. Come on. He's working down his, he had actually 3 grooves in his wood for his handle. He's actually now trying to work that down. I believe that's oak. I think he said it's oak. He stole it off a piece of furniture, believe it or not. So we're doing recycling at its finest. Oh, he said he took it off an old man's chair. That's why you got to be real careful and wear those gloves, because those belts will eat your fingers. Safety, safety, safety. Now what he's got to do is try to round it off, because he's got to make sure this thing fits, because he won't have a lot of time to work it in the end. Okay, there's Kevin up on his pedestal there. Nice backlit. He's working. He's got his piece in the forge. I'm trying to see what he's doing here. He's actually cut. He's got as much piece as it was. He handed me a piece of steel on the way he saw me carrying it around. I threw it up here to Dwayne. Told him to make a knife out of it. Okay, there's. Let's see what he's got there. As long as I that there's Todd working that piece. Look at that forge steel come off. That's that mild steel on the outside. It's just gonna forge steel off like crazy. There's Tyler. there's our newbie. He's never made a knife before, working like mad. He's got a little bit of a warp. He's taking that out. Good, man. Now remember, especially with that Nordic Forge hammer, he's got two edges on it. He's got a rounded and a flat side. There's Todd working on his, trying to see what he's got. There you go. A little bit of hammer maintenance. In this dry heat of Colorado, we'll dry out our handles. There you go. You can see that new forge he's got. He's got a bit of a banana on it. We should probably thwack that. What it is you work the edge, you work that bevel. The steel has to go someplace. So what happens is it stretches out side to side, and you'll make a banana blade. What you're seeing here is you're seeing. Yeah, he's trying to get this blade to come up the heat, and he's going to mark how long he wants that blade. He's going to come back and put a little bit of a choil, and he's never going to get behind that choil. He's going to drive that blade and get that bevel down. He's trying to bevel that back by half. Just so you know, inside that forge is about 1,900 degrees Fahrenheit. The funny thing is that Steve Dale, the guy down there at the far end. Okay, that's what's known as a thwack. That's a very technical twing. He's trying to get that, see how he's got that curve in his spine? He heats that up and he whacks it down on the spine to try and straighten it out. He's still trying to reach his 2 inches. Josh is working that edge. He's trying to keep that edge straight. See, nice and looking. And he's we see Steve here working his handle still. He's still working that handle. He's going to have that handle in a nice round oval before he burns. Nice on your newbie. That's Todd. That's Todd. You can tell he's got 30, the smaller handle. I don't think it's 30. It's about 7-pound handle. Also, Todd's got so much forward skill, killing him. I don't know what. I might get out and walk down and see what Steve's doing. That was that cut off. I had it in my hand. I had it in my hand. That's that cut off. I just realized what Steve's doing. He actually forged out his billet and he cut it in his tip. That's one way to do it. We still got to get a slip point. There goes running Josh. As you watch, just watch Josh walk past. He's still working that W2 down. Looks like he got wet. Yeah, Mike? I am not going there. On your screen now you're seeing Josh trying to turn his bolo into a clip-point buoy. He's got his belly wide enough, but he doesn't have his blade just right. That's Brian Leonardo talking to him, another former competitor. I've often thought if you took our hands and made it sit on a placement so we could even talk. You notice his drawing in midair with in the background. There you go. Now you see Steve's actually cut his tip in, and now he's trying to get his slip point all set up. No, I think it's not working anymore. Yeah. It's all over here on my left. Yeah, because Kevin's working. There you go. Yeah, what you see here, you can look at Kevin. He's actually working as a guard on. He built a guard. He built a guard. He's actually heating up both the guard and the tang. And he's tapping the guard back on. That's Josh working on the press right there, trying to get his whip. He's got his belly, but it looks more like a bolo than a clip point. So he's trying to work that back into a clip point buoy. You can see him working the spreading dies there on that press. That's Steve. I think he's still trying to work that card and make sure we'll come around when he needs it. I think Steve's actually probably ahead of the pack. He ended up cutting into his step knot. He very much has been multitasking since the hammer dropped. And I think I don't know if he saw it, he came with a cardboard cutout with what he was going to do. Very smart idea. Josh is now up there. As I said, we're always talking to each other, figuring out what we're going to do next. He's up there talking to Kevin, trying to figure out what he's going to do. But in fact, Todd down there trying to get wet. I was down there talking to him, he doesn't quite have 2 inches. And I said, with that Sam he's got to have about 2 inches and a 16th, because he's got to grind back the harden of the steel. Happening here is as you thin that bevel down, right? Not just stretching, that bevel's got to go someplace. It not only goes straight forward like you want, it goes side. Great YouTube video, a guy steals his kid's Play-Doh. He hits it with a rounding hammer, you can actually watch that happen. So what's the problem is you're stretching that, and it's taking that edge along your bevel, and it's making it longer and longer. So then what happens is your spine hurts. 2 things you can do. One, if you had a piece of 2x4, you can just whack it with a 2x4 and bring it down. You don't want to hit that bevel area. So what you do is you get a good hard grip back here where it's square, and you take it, whack it, and when I say whack, you got to get a good hit on that anvil. As flat as possible. And you'll get that sucker straight. You should get that straight now.
Get it super piping hot.
Get it super piping hot, exactly. Okay, I'll be right around so I can guide you through it, okay? Still loading there, brother, you done? That's not good. Like it. Good. You're gonna put a pin through the. Excellent. Yeah, what Todd's doing here is actually trying to stretch the steel out. He's trying to get it 2 inches. Keep that flat as you can get it. What's it look like? That doesn't look bad. You know that mean-ass curve in there like that? We got that curve. That's going to grab that and hold on to it. I don't mind it. You know, it's your blade, man. The problem is you've got to grind that back to get yourself the bore. I'd run 6.8. Josh is still working, trying to get width, I think. Sir, go that way. I just don't want the dog there. You know I don't care about dog. You know what you can do? You know what you can do for your handle? What are you going to do for your handle? I don't think there's anything in here stabbing except for the tip test. And as I said, and we have a couple of gloves, so you'll be okay. It's looking good. Your press moves fast. Do you have, look down it, make sure you don't have any. Sounds great. Hey, you chose one of the worst steels. You chose that steel, which is a pain in the neck, and you. I don't talk to cheaters. What? Hey, but you cheated. I'm looking at this and say, what's Steve doing? How's he getting his point in? I walked in and I'm like,
I told the kids at home.
No, that's a viable way to do it. I just don't like, personally, I don't like the way the clip goes.
Yeah, well, I don't like covering ticks. But 5 hours, like you and I talked earlier, I would take 3-4 days to get over this 80 hours at a time, right? The first hour and a half might be a tip.
I couldn't understand what you're doing at the tip. Then I went down and you had that grinder. What's he doing the grinder? I'm like, I'm going to walk away before I say something.
Well, I cheated there, but
it's not a cheat. It's a different technique than I would have used. It's not a cheat.
Well, I tried to use the handle, but when you take it and cut it.
How do you have it? You still have to bevel it. As I said, for 2, you have Semi or do you have Semi? Remember, you're gonna need at least the 16th to an 8. I think Josh has running with scissors beat. I'm running with hot steel. What Josh is trying to do now is make sure he doesn't have any ripples in that blade. Because any ripples in that blade are going to give you, it could kick the steel off to one side during heat treat. We jokingly call it Oscar Mayer because it turns into bacon. Dude, that still looks like a Filipino. Hey, I like a bolo, but it's not what we're making. You know, I wear a bolo on my hip. That's my normal knife. It's a bolo. Beautiful shot of a Marabray blower. Josh. That's Kevin working that his edge up against the lower. That big wheel's a running wheel. He doesn't have a platen on his Marabray, so he's hand running it across that shaping wheel. You are? You're kidding me. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new competitor. Brian Leonardo is going to jump in with Josh here, and he's going to use a 50 piece of 150-160, and he is going to start 2 hours behind everyone else. So not only do we have the Iron Trials, we have a man going Iron Man trying to do it. I don't know if you know this, but this gentleman right here, Mr. Brian Leonardo, is starting now 2 hours behind everyone else. And he has got a piece of 5160, and he is trying to compete. got a goddamn angle grinder. Cut off wheel. Steve's got an angle grinder with a cut off wheel.
So, since your steel's in the fire. So, I'm here with Todd, one of our contestants here at the contest. Todd, how long have you been doing this?
About 5 or 6 years.
And Todd, is it fair to say that you're one of the reasons this competition is underway today?
It was my brainchild, but you made it a reality.
So, a little while ago, Todd came to me and he's like, hey, I want to do knife competitions again. And I'm like, no, I really don't want to. It's a lot of work. And Todd's like, I'm going to do all the work. I'm going to sweat my butt off inside this tent. And I'm like, well, you make a really good point, Todd. So Todd created the name, the Iron Trials. So we're here at the very first ever Iron Trials here in Castle Rock, Colorado, in front of Everything Hot Tubs. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, make sure you come down and cheer Todd on. Todd, any thing you want to tell the crowd out there?
This sucks, but it's a lot of fun. It's hard to do that at the same time for anything else, but something that you're putting your body on the line for, but just being able to see how you're able to create something out of practically nothing is pretty awesome. And the support from all the other smiths around here, even people who aren't competing but who are part of this community, just helping other guys who are pretty new to it, it's incredible. I love it.
Awesome. Well, good luck, Todd. Take it easy.
Kevin, how you doing? It's still chunky, but it's going.
The edge is a little thick.
Just a hair. Hey, River.
Coming along.
So you got your 14 inches from tip to tail?
Yeah, we're all there.
Okay. And you're still going to have a lake because of your...
What's that?
Your handle's going to come out about here, so
Yeah.
you'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're there.
What are you running on your belt?
Oh, this is.
What do you got? 220 or what kind of grit?
I don't even know. There ain't enough left anymore. I haven't tempered yet, so I'm watching the color. Just an old belt, I'm gonna knock the carbon off, and then I got a couple. In many days, I did that.
So you can bring it down about a quarter? About a quarter thickness? Yeah, you got quite a ways to go there.
Oh yeah, we got a long ways to go.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll clean up.
Yeah. Looking good. I love the guard, by the way. And I love you beating it in. That was. That'll work. Okay, we'll let you get back at it. Thank you much. He said, I'll be back.
He knows his stuff.
I mean, Arnold. When I get my knee redone, I'll be back.
Yeah.
He's looking over at me. I hope he didn't. Hey, that's how we, you never shave it, you never cut it. Burger time. Well, what you see in here is you see in Todd do his quench. Now he's going to try and make sure it's straight. Now you got to remember that Todd actually has two dissimilar pieces of metal in there. What we're worried is we don't want to hear a sploing. We're joking over there. We call it the Jurassic toenail. Now he's trying to keep that edge straight with his. Yeah. I'm looking at what he's trying to do. He's looking down his. I can't see it from here. Oh no. Oh, he's taking it out. Okay. He's already past his point to try and make that bend. Oh! I can't tell you how many times I've done that and had heard a snap. He probably has he's got a little bit of a curve in it, so he's trying to take the curve out. That's one drawback of San Mai. Is what happens, you have two dissimilar pieces of metal that are cooling at different rates, and your core is sandwiched in between two of them. So, and I don't think he's got. I don't think he actually pulled enough blade hardness, but we'll see. I'm trying to see. He's got an awful lot of cold steel there. He's trying to look at what he's got. There's an old adage in bladesmithing: forge fat, grind thin. Steve had some issues, or Tim had some. Todd had some issues trying to pull the 2 inches, and he was a little worried he had to work. I don't like the way he dropped that. He looks dejected. Now he's over talking to a couple of people. He's shaking hands. I know that's Steve, because Steve hasn't bought a pair of tongs ever since I met him. Yeah. Well, that's still sitting about 1,600 degrees hot. That's our newest competitor. That's Brian. Can you zoom in there, bud? And just so everybody know, Brian Leonardo, our latest competitor here, showed up, and not only did he not plan on competing, he didn't have tool one. So everything he's using out here is big borrow or stolen. Okay, what Josh is doing, Josh is going back old school, and he's drifting in his holes. See? Yeah, he's drifting in his holes right now. That's very old school. I don't know how many pins he'll put in. Most bladesmiths will put in 2 pins. Okay, I hadn't really heard. Okay, I haven't really heard what he said. He's actually doing 3 pins and a lanyard hole, all drifted. And look, there he goes, Brian trying to make his 2 inches. He's using 5160. He's using another piece of leaf spring. 5160 will move like a banshee. Okay, here we go. This is hot cut. It's not just the name of a knife. He's now hot cutting that off. What he's going to do is he's figured out how much steel he wants. He's using that piece right there. It's a hardened steel pyramid that's sharpened. Okay, we're going back to Kevin on the wheel. Kevin's got a lot of steel there. I mean, a lot of steel. That has nothing to do with the blade. Oh, wait a minute. Wayne Buthel said he's donating that as the winner. Yeah, we got a lot of cars out here today. Yeah, he had a good quarter inch on his edge. So he's bearing down. I think he's got 220 on that belt. Yeah, it's a big Ameribraid. See, he's actually got to slow down a bit. Nope, now he sped it back up. He tried to make a liar. You heard me, he made a liar out of me. Todd's got some blisters on his hand. Yeah, it is. In the booth here, someone's geeking out over Todd's T-shirt and tattoo. And there he's got it cut off. Nice trying to figure out what to do with the. Just throw it over here. Just throw it back here. Yeah. You put my piece of steel underneath you, joker. Well, you better be Johnny on the spot. Where you're a dark host, but you're the guy who wanted to win. Okay.
All right. Rob Michael here with Oleo Acres Farrier and Blacksmith Supply, and I'm joined with one of our judges, Mr. John McNerney from Yukon Forge. John owns Yukon Forge, just located in northern Colorado in Johnstown. John, this isn't your first competition. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been a horseshoer, since '97, and grew up shoeing horses and competing in horseshoeing competitions, and probably been a part of some kind of blacksmithing deal or competition ever since the early 2000s.
Yeah, so like I said, John's been around the block. He's also been one of our judges at our knife competitions in the past. He also does a lot with the World Championship Blacksmiths. We're really excited to have John judging this competition along with our other two phenomenal judges. So stay tuned, and our testing will start around 5:15 Mountain Standard Time, where we're going to take all these competitor blades and put them through the ringer in some of the most brutal tests you've ever seen. So we look forward to bringing you more later in the day. Thank you, and stay with us.
Thank you, Rob. How long is that blade? Well, yeah. Okay. What's he cutting off? Oh, yeah, we got an antler handle going on. I don't know if he's going to make scales out of it or not. Yeah, he should. He's got a stubby little on it. I guess he doesn't like grinding on antler. Anyone's ever ground on antler knows it is not a pleasant experience. The only worst thing about that is burning feathers. But they have to be pink. Okay, just so you guys know, another man here at the booth and I shoot archery, and we make our own arrows. And one day I decided I was tired of losing arrows, so I made my fletches pink. And Dwayne has never stopped giving me grief for it. Okay, Brian's moving right along. Okay, now you see what happens when you start beveling out a blade. See that sucker curve on you? We always jokingly call them banana buoys at one point in time, because they will banana on you. And we're coming up on. You see what Tyler's got going on here. There we go. Tyler's getting a lot of coaching. There we go. Oh, look at that. See how much he's pulled that down now? Now remember, Kevin has not quenched that blade at all. So if he gets that blade hot in the grind, he's okay. I love that shot with the big wheel in the back. Oh, that was really sweet. Beautiful thing about living in Colorado. Did we get that early today?
Tell me where to stand. Hey, Rob Michael here with Oleo. Rob Michael, New Acres Fair and Blacksmith Supply, and I'm at the Iron Trials here in Castle Rock, Colorado. And I just wanted to kind of explain what's going on here. So each of our contestants here today started with 3 different types of steel. The first set of steel was W1 round stock, 1-inch round, 12 inches long. The next was a stack of leaf springs that they then had to unstack and pick some of the best steel out of that stack to build a knife with. The third stack was a San Mai stack, so 8-inch Mai 75 core. So what we're looking for is a 14-inch long Bowie knife. This one was a practice run by none other than Kevin Solon, who is here competing. This one was made out of 5160. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put these things through some of the worst challenges we could dream up. So one of the very first challenges we're going to do today is a rope chop. So what we have is 1-inch round sisal rope. The 1-inch sisal rope free hang is an ABS standard test. It's something that every smith has to go to get an ABS stamp. So that free rope hanging test is going to be performed by a couple of ABS judges. The next challenge that we're going to go to is the tip challenge. So we have a nice big log, and each one of these knives, we're going to bury them deep in that log, and we're going to try and snap the tip right off of them. After that, the brutality just begins. So right after that, we're going to run these knives along a 1-inch steel pipe, and we're going to bang the spines into the steel pipe 3 times along different sections of the blade edge. After we're done with that test, we're going to bring it over for our copper pipe chop. So the copper pipe chop is going to be a couple of sliding blows into the copper pipe and then one baseball swing at the copper pipe. Copper is malleable, so we do expect a lot of damage to the copper pipe, but it should also put some damage on our Smith's blades. After that, we're going to go and try some sharpness. So we're going to run the blades along a sandbag chop, and then we're going to bring it to our test dummy. Bob is going to have a real bad day here today. He is wearing chainmail and an armor hat, but we're going to bash it in with these knives. After we're done hitting him up a little bit, we're going to go to our final test of this evening, and it's going to be an onion slice to see if there is any edge left remaining on these blades. So stay tuned. That all happens around 5:15 Mountain Standard Time. And we'll be going over these tests a little bit in detail as we progress through the day. Thank you, and cheer on our Smiths as they brave the hot Colorado weather.
I would actually try and go with try and get that a little bit more. And you could just smash it hard with the flat hammer. Keep getting told I didn't want to do an interview. You have just a little bit of a wiggle woggle. That's easily grindable out. You can grind that out.
Oh yeah, it's well within range for that. So.
That looks good. Now, unfortunately, you're only hard about here. So you're going to have to watch, right?
It came up to about right there. Right there.
You can see the line, yeah.
Yeah. So, just gonna, as big as my quench tank was. So, we'll see if get as sharp as I can.
Yeah, but
down.
you got your edge here, So this back here is going to be soft, which will be great.
Yeah, this is mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not right to the edge.
Okay. Just to see what the pattern looks like.
You too?
No, give me confidence.
I'll go with good. Oh, it's going to be great. Fantastic.
I don't know about that. He's a pretty smart guy. He's a Fortune Fire champion.
That's the joy of it. In different ways, you figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And then do it your 11th way.
Yeah. You'll all of a sudden one day you'll be working in your shop and like the angels, and you're like, do something someplace. Or watch you do something and say, what you just do? And all of a sudden, like, next time you see him, he's doing it your way. They're going to be going,
Yeah. And it's so true.
it is. We're all,
So just smash it on here.
yeah.
Just try to get everything back to parent stock thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or actually a little step very far bend.
Yeah.
You get the I-beam out of us, what he's saying.
Yeah, the idea.
That's huge.
Yeah.
No. Don't try and thin it. Smack it and try and get it.
Flip it on its side. There's still real thick right in here. You've got a little bit you pull. So this next time you come in, work this tip and flatten it down. So you're going to hold it on that side, flatten it down. And honestly, what you can do to draw some more links is you've got a crossbeam. Use your crossbeam and just put a whole series of real rough hacks right into that side. That'll draw you a bunch of
Doing earlier.
Yep. That last 3/4 of an inch, that last inch, just focus on that this evening.
I'm trying to say the same thing, but if you said cheat, you have to say it because
Your brain will hear it one way, and his brain will, and
Absolutely.
my brain will hear it one way.
but then when we're all saying the same thing, all of a sudden the angels go, oh,
I understand what you mean.
yeah. And
My
so,
son does that, and then I'm like,
but it's so great when you see the light come on. And all of a sudden you're like, figuring it out. Actually, I think that. Just swing it. Gotcha.
better tie that rope on nice and tight.
Run it that way, away from you.
Yeah, you're gonna try to work it that way. And kind of do both, so you'll be steering back and forth. That's where an angle peen hammer comes in really handy.
Yeah, need one of those in the store.
I've got one.
Yeah, last one, 60 years old.
I've got mine's a Hopi. What's his name? First name. Hopi's his second name. He's an Israeli smith. Get in there. He's doing good. Looking like something.
Oh, right, no, that's nice to see.
Another trick you can do.
It's almost looking like you're drawing.
Close.
Yeah.
Side?
I would stretch that out just a little more on the back, and you're there.
Yeah. Then you aren't too he gets to that. And it's better to have a little long than be too short. Yeah. Are you trying to do a hidden tip then? You may want
I wouldn't. The problem with it, if you put a guard on it, he said you do not have to have a guard. I'd run it with just scales. The way you set that up, it looks like it's just scales.
What are you planning for your hand material?
Right there.
I've never done handles or
That G5? What's that, G10?
Nah, that's salted. Salted maple. So there's being beautiful, there's a chance that these tracks could blow.
Yeah.
I would go with this. It's synthetic, but you want to grind it slow, because it'll melt if you grind it too fast. But it'll be a more durable material than this.
So with your angle grinder, grind it lightly and just keep going over and over. Don't try and get a good grind.
I just didn't think they were thick enough, but maybe they are.
Oh no, remember you've got
clean material there.
you got what, quarter
Steel
inch?
and a quarter inch of steel would be fine.
So you don't need
Now, since you're not working with a solid block, I would do scale.
I do scales. Forget your guard.
You have the guard go this way, do scale.
Now
So we can still hand it through it, but
also make sure you got some form of Ricosta. Some form of Ricosta, because when you do the tip test, you don't want that somebody's hand to slip
Yeah,
off there.
sure.
Okay, so you know, I don't want anyone hurt. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I said. I said buy a set of tongs, man. This would get roasted hot. So you getting close to quench?
No, I'm gonna get a little concerned. I gotta get a little more out of the belly, and then I'm gonna get Gonzo over here on here.
Okay.
And then I'll be ready.
You got 2 inches?
That's why I gotta get that belly just a little fatter, about 2 inches on the cheek.
Okay.
I have a fat on there.
Yeah, it's a thought.
I know we're measuring.
Okay, you're using his good. That's a, you getting close to each tree or
what's that?
how close are you? Oh, that's great. Look, you thin that down. That looks great.
I'm just gonna get real close to the edge. I'm just gonna move the back and let the color transfer down.
Have
I'm
you-
looking for a gopher tooth.
Did you already heat treat?
Hardened it, but I haven't given it a full timber. I quenched it, pulled it out, and guess my best. That's where it's
You got it. Yeah, it won't fall any further. So when you go to temperate, you're gonna blue black it, right? Okay.
Then,
So you're gonna run a blue black on it, said?
pardon? You got blue black blue back in, and then let the heat transfer down to the first. Kind of
That wheat, then W1's okay.
on carbon.
First time I ever worked with W1, the guy I was working with said, water water quench it. I did. It didn't blow apart, but then I really took it way back.
I chickened out. So warm. I got the oil really warm. So.
I agree. It's skated, right?
Pardon me? Oh.
That looks good. Yeah. Okay. Well, get out of here.
I guess I never learned. I threw one part of a tip in there.
Keep the spine straight, because it starts to wobble. You'll have to kick it out later. That's what you did. That looks good. Look how much. Now look how far. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's the thing is that. So it kind of stays in there a little
Yeah, you got a nice swell here, and I would actually put if you drill a hole, I drill the hole there for your lanyard.
Yeah, okay.
You got pin material,
Yeah.
dude. I know you probably just a. Good.
No, it helps me, honestly. Keep talking.
Wait, I need to keep that up.
Get water right there.
This is a mic check. This is a real check. We be real. Okay, we love it. We're back on air, guys. Yeah, my microphone told me I was talking too much. It died of the batteries. Brian, how you doing, brother? Bed burrower steel, as we said. I'll run down to the truck. What we're seeing here is we're watching Josh grind. I don't know where he found that grinder. I think it came off of some Nazi submarine or something. That's old. He's trying now to we're just off of seeing Steve. There we are. Steve is working to set his setup. As Todd working on his SAMI of his. And Steve working on that flat where the flap is, trying to get his tang the way he wants to see it. Problem with grinding your tang in is it takes you a lot longer than forging it in, but it's a little more accurate. Yeah, play it time, brother. You don't have to. Get out of here, yeah. He's just working that tang down, trying to get a nice shape to his tang. He's got to get that divot out of there. He's got a fracture point. Todd's now working all the forge scale off that blade. They can't really do too much of it with that SAMI. You want to show that differential metal. A lot of people will use a wire wheel on SAMI so they can leave that metal on there. There we go, back on the grinding. bunch of different schools here being ground. Steve Dato's using an angle grinder, which a lot of people use. It's easy, it's cheap, so we used it first. And a lot of people get real good at it. You can watch him move that back and forth and notice how smooth that grind is, as someone's been using an angle grinder a long time. A lot of people out here using bench grinders. Got about an hour and a half. You've already quit, right? I'm going to talk to Rob. Thank you. But
You're
yeah,
right there and back.
but bearing in mind, still want to know you're gonna.
I don't know.
You know, the problem is that you only can use that. You know, a lot of people skip it.
If you want it to last forever, as long as possible.
You got a torch?
I do have a torch, yeah.
What blue bracket?
I could, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to kind of. That way I can see the color better.
What do you got to quench?
Last time when I was pleasure, I was going to see if I could use
Pull that up.
Not right now.
Straight on. If you don't, if you side to side, that'll be enough to warp that steel as hot as it'll be.
Right now it's like
Take it out. Over to the side. You go like this. Edge on. You go like this. Let it cool. This is called normalization. A lot of people call it thermocycling.
I just went through 3 of those.
Okay.
I did an orange, and then I let it cool.
A little red.
And then I did a red, and then I did a red another time. And now it's been in there for too long. I think I like it.
Do one more. Right?
And then heat it up to red hot, and then quench it.
No. You want that color.
Okay.
You want it critical. The critical temperature, that yellow temperature.
So do another normalization real quick.
Yeah.
And then do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're burning something off. Because right now you're too hot. So he is going to run it. What are you looking for, brother? Well, you made a zombie though.
I can get into this. I can get into the plate.
Yeah, but you got. Oh man, you got two parts. That's canola. That's not.
I have. I like this. But I can get in this part.
How far? That's cool. No, all you want is your blade.
Yeah.
No, forget this. No, forget that.
They bent it. I'm holding it. I made it awful thin.
Hey, no. When you get it hot, make sure the heat push through there. And then if it does, when it starts This is canola oil. You won't get a flash. You won't get that. Now you get that big group you see on that show. These are more. You can read that. Give yourself a count, like an 8 count. 2001, 2002, 2003. Just try to slow and hold up to it. If they're not, I'll get my vice ready. Get your vice handle open about just a little wide. And you want to go blade down. Okay. You're almost over here. Walk around. Just there. When anything, you know. Go back in. Gosh, bucket. You got anything in it? That should be deep enough for you.